Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope you're all safe and doing well during this pandemic. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different from my normal content. I'm going to be addressing a question slash topic that I've been thinking about a lot lately, so let's jump into it. So the whole basis for this video comes from a question I've been asked by friends and family recently, and it's how's college going, especially during COVID, and what are the different things? And I kind of wanted to address those and maybe give some insight to people who are looking at going to college in the future or are thinking about staying in college. So let's hop right into that. So when I was asked this question, I usually just go with, oh, it's going fine, I'm doing good, whatever. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that, it kind of sucks, and it probably sucks for other people too. So what I did is I ended up messaging about 15 of my friends and other students, and I just kind of asked them, how's college going, and what are the things that you don't like about it currently with COVID and the pandemic and whatnot. And I got a bunch of really good responses from my friends, so shout out to them. Thank you guys for helping with this. And I've got a pretty good list of things that just, kind of suck right now, and I feel like that could maybe be fixed, or at least things you should consider before you take that next step to go into college during a pandemic. First one is a lot of stuff is online. So right now, about 90% of my classes are all online, and it's not the worst. I really don't like online classes myself. I've tried taking one before, and I'm not gonna lie, I hated it. So I ended up dropping it. And needless to say, having almost all my classes in that format isn't very fun. Now, I am getting close to graduating, so I'm really trying to, stick it out and get to the end, but I'm not going to lie, this online format is not fun to deal with, and it's kind of making me lose a little bit of hope. Here's a big one that has kind of bothered me a lot, is a lot of professors don't know how to teach in an online setting. Now, it's not the fact that they don't understand the technology, for the most part, all of them have got it figured out by now. It's the fact that they don't understand that teaching online is different than teaching in person, and they're teaching all of their lectures like they're still in person, and learning from that is so much harder when they don't acknowledge that things are different online and that they might need to change how they teach, how they administer homework, how they help students. There's a whole plethora of things that I feel like a lot of professors need to realize, and I understand that it's not their fault that they're being forced to teach online, but they have to work with it, what they have, and we have to work with what we got. And there's a lot of things they could be doing differently that would help students a lot. And I actually had almost all my friends comment about how much online teaching sucks. Not just from the professors, just it kind of sucks as a whole, but there are professors that straight up suck at teaching. Again, I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad, but that's the truth. Next, there's really no accountability with this online format. During tests, students are basically allowed to use the internet. There's no way to monitor that. They have the option to talk to other students. It's highly not recommended. A lot of the professors ask that you please don't do that and follow the honor rule, but there's nothing they can do to actually monitor and stop that, so they kind of just have to accept it. And on the other side of things, there's no accountability for the students. So if they don't get their work done, or if they choose not to participate in an activity, or they don't study for a test, instead of having to go to class and actually face facts and realize that, they need to start working harder or else they're not going to pass their classes, they can just sit behind their computer and not even think about that and not do that. And I think that's killing a lot of people right now. They just would rather hide behind their computer and not actually face facts than do the work. And with this online format, it gives them every tool to do that. Along with the online format, there's a lack of motivation I've seen both with myself and other students. It's hard to want to go to online lectures that aren't fun, aren't captivating. I get some classes are more boring than the others, and I have a few in-person classes, and I actually really enjoy going to those classes. I look forward to it. It gets me out of my room. I feel like I'm learning a lot better in those classes. And then the ones that are all online, I dread going to. I do almost everything I can to not do it. Most of the time, I convince myself to get on the computer and watch it live. But all the other times I don't do that, I end up watching them online later, and sometimes they stack up, and I'll have 2, 3, or 4 lectures all at one time waiting for me, and then something comes up like a quiz or a test, and I have to binge watch essentially lectures, and that is so not fun. with all the restrictions and stuff going on, a lot of students are basically isolated. Like I know myself, I'm in a solo room. Even the people in double rooms are essentially isolated. I mean, you can go hang out with other people around your dorm, but you can't go in between dorms. It's hard to meet up with people, and I think that isolation is starting to cause a lot of bad things for people's mental health. I know I my mental health is probably going down just for this isolation. Like it sucks being alone. It sucks being stuck at my computer for 8 to 10 hours a day, if not more, just, between watching classes and doing homework, because all my homework is done online now. I'm basically stuck here the whole day, other than, eating and going to the classes I have to go to. But then as soon as I'm done with those, I come right back and I'm on my computer. So I think that's a big thing for students right now. Ooh, the resource centers on campus kind of suck right now. I can't really speak for many of them because I haven't used them yet. Usually I use them on a semi-frequent basis. I mean, whenever I need help, there's like a math learning center that helps you with math. There's a writing center. And, there's non-academic centers too, like one's for mental health or one's for anonymous phone lines where you can talk. There's things like that. And I think a lot of those are really lacking right now. I don't blame the centers themselves. I blame the fact that a lot of things have been downsized. There's less people working there, and also you have to make appointments. It used to be you could just walk in and get help, but now if you want to get help, you have to schedule an appointment online, and you hope that you get in that day, but if you can't, you just have to wait, and there's nothing else you can do. And the same goes with teachers and teaching assistants at this point. If you're looking to get help from them, you really have to make an appointment with them at this point. It's not like it used to be where you could stop by after class or you could stop by their office throughout the day and talk to them. You have to look at their schedule, hope they have an open time around the time you need help or before, the assignments due that you're working on. And you hope you can meet with them. And you also have to hope that all their slots aren't filled up by other students. They have them blocked off in like 10-minute increments, and that is clearly not enough time to solve some problems. So a lot of that is quite frustrating whenever you need help, and there's just literally no way to get to it. The inconsistency of schedules is something I've kind of dealt with, and one of my friends brought up to me. But my schedule is never the same any week, and this isn't a huge thing, but I'm the kind of person that I very much enjoy having a set schedule. I know I need to be at this class, at this time. I know where I need to be almost every hour of the day, or at least I know what I need to do for the day, what homework and stuff. I usually have everything written down for the week on a whiteboard just so I know what to do. And with this whole online format, a lot of that stuff has just, it's kind of gone out the window. It's a lot harder to plan. There's just nothing you can do to actually plan it out when you don't know what's coming for the week. One of my classes, the one I'm actually required to be in person, I don't actually know what day I'm required to be there in person every day. I don't know what day I'm required to watch it online until the week starts, so until Monday, which I can still plan out my week, but it would be nice to have it be more consistent. The cafeteria food, this is a personal opinion of mine. I actually didn't ask anyone about this, but I think it's gotten quite a bit worse. It was never like the best food in the world anyways. I mean, obviously it's a school cafeteria. You guys kind of all know what to expect, but it has just gotten worse. And, usually it's kind of nice to have some good food. You've been studying for 3 or 4 hours. You want to go take a break and get some good food. And then you go down there and it's just a bunch of old food that's been sitting under a heat lamp. That kind of kills the mood, and it really doesn't help with the motivation thing. It just kind of makes you more sad and depressed. So, that's really my list of things right now that I'm going to complain about, or things that I would like to see changed. I feel like there's probably a lot of ways you can fix a lot of these things. And honestly, I think it would just be a better idea to not have college this semester, since it's all online, and just wait till a semester can come where we can go back to normal, being in person and whatnot. But until then, I guess we have to deal with it. Alright, next I want to kind of give some of my advice, if you'll take it, for people thinking of attending college for the first time, being incoming freshmen in the year of 2021. I don't know if there's going to be many people opting to go for their first semester in the spring of 2021, as it tends to be, they want to start in the fall. But for the people starting in the fall, I would advise you to maybe think twice about this. I'm not telling you not to go to college. Like, don't let me squash your dreams. Don't let me make any major life decisions for you. I just want you to maybe think twice and think about what you're getting into, and think about the fact that maybe you could wait a semester or two, take a little break after high school and do something else until college can go back to normal. I think a lot of the things that freshmen look forward to when they're going into college are not going to be present, and that kind of kills the experience. I mean, I know I had a super fun freshman year, meeting new people, playing games, hanging out with friends, making a lot of friends, experiencing new things, and I feel like a lot of that stuff isn't there. I mean, a lot of the activities or fun things to do around the city my college is in are closed or heavily restricted, and they're harder to get into. I mean, you can't just go out and find something to do on a Friday night now. You have to try to, look around or make appointments. It's way harder to, hang out with friends. Like I mentioned earlier, you can't really hang out with anybody that's not in your dorm. So if I had a friend in another dorm and I wanted to hang out with them, we would both have to physically leave our dorms and find a mutual meeting place where we were both allowed, and that kind of sucks. So I guess my little warning is maybe not go to college right away. It wouldn't hurt at this moment to maybe take like a break semester or a break year, like a gap year after high school, and think about it. But like I said, I'm not going to try to tell you yes or no to going to college. That's going to be solely your decision. But I just want to ask you guys to maybe think about it a little bit more. Maybe get some advice from someone you trust, or talk to another fellow college student if you have the access to that, and ask them how things are, and really get a feel for it. Because I truly feel like if I were a freshman in this year, I would drop out after it and never come back to college. But college is super rewarding, and I want the people who truly work for it to have that success. So, thank you guys for watching today. Feel free to put anything in the comments about what you want to talk about. I will promise to respond. I will be as kind as I can, and I would love some constructive criticism. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you are all doing well and staying healthy, and I will see you again next Sunday.